Hello and good morning, dear friends. We are here for the problem session 4 of the chapter 9. We have 5 questions in this problem session. The first question, you can find the questions in your system. And the first question, let's say Q1 is, suppose that the demand curve for wheat is Q equal to 100 minus 10p and the supply curve is Q equal to 10p. The government imposes a price support at price 6, which is a minimum price, and using a deficiency payment program, which means price support, deficiency payment program. And the question A asks, what is the quantity supplied, the price that clears the market, and the deficiency payment? What is the quantity supplied while P minimum is 6? It is the first question. And let's start with, and also it is asked the deficiency payment of the government. So let's start with the drawing the supply and demand here. Q and P, 100 minus 10p. If P is 0, then Q will be 100, and if Q is 0, P is 10, and Q equal to 10p, that is the supply function and demand function, and by equalizing them to each other you can find the initial market equilibrium before the policy, 10p, then equilibrium price was 5 and equilibrium quantity was 50 before the policy. Here price was 5 and the quantity was 50 before the policy. Then the government tells the minimum price of the wheat will be 5. So, will be 6. That is the price floor of the government, the minimum price. And in that case, if there is no regulation in the market, then the government, when there is no regulation of the government, the demand for this good, if you substitute 6 here, will be 40, and the quantity supplied will be, if you substitute the 6 here, will be 60. So that will be in, if there is no deficiency payment program, the difference between these 60 and 40 would be the excess supply or surplus in the market. However, the government put a price floor and also tells that I will buy this surplus from the producers. So it means that the initial demand function was the demand of the private people, but now after the deficiency payment program of the government, this demand function will shift to right just by this surplus. Buraya gelene kadar, yani tekrar dengeyi, surplus kalmayana dengeyi sağlayana kadar sağa doğru kayacak. So this new demand function is the sum of private demand plus government demand. Yani bu ne demek oluyor? Aslında 60 birim bu maldan piyasada alınıp satılıyor. Bunun 40 birimini kim alıyor? Özel kişiler alıyor. Yani hükümet olmayan. Kalan kısmını da government alıyor. Satın alıyor anlamına geliyor. Peki. So, the answer of the question, what is the quantity supplied if the minimum price is determined as 6? The answer, in that case, quantity supplied will be 60 if the price is 6. So, what is the deficiency payment? of the government will buy 20 units, so 60 minus 40 will be bought by the government, and the price is again determined by the government as 6, so the deficiency payment of the government is 120. That area is the deficiency payment of the government. 20 birimi 6 liradan satın alacak. Demek ki 120 lira üreticiye ödeme yapacak hükümet. Now let's come to question B. It asks, what effect does this program have on consumer surplus, producer surplus, welfare, and deadweight laws? So let's have our table. In this table, we will see both the minimum price and deficiency payment. Here, consumer surplus. Here, producer surplus. And here we can put deficiency payment of the government. Before the policy, after the policy, and change. The consumer was before the area above the equilibrium price. The initial equilibrium was here, let's say at 0.1, and the consumer surplus was the area above this 5, or the area between the demand function and the equilibrium price, and this area is base, which is 50 times height 10 minus 5 over 2, which is 125. And the producer surplus, it was the area below the equilibrium price, or the area between the supply, market supply, and the equilibrium price, which is base, again 50 times height 5 over 2, which is 125. And before the policy, there were no deficiency payment of the government. After the policy, the price has increased to 6, or the government determined the price as 6, so everyone will buy this good at minimum price of 6. So the consumer surplus in that case, consumer surplus of the private people, will be this area only. This will be the consumer surplus area. So it is base 40 times height 10 minus 6 over 2, which is 80, right? So the consumer surplus was before 125, now it's 80. So it means that the change in consumer surplus is 45 units decrease. Let's come to producer surplus. The producers will sell 60 units of this good, 40 units to the private people, 20 units to the government. It's not important. So that area, that big triangle area, let's show it with blue ink. Şurası producer surplus'ı gösterecek arkadaşlar. Şurası producer surplus'ı gösterecek. Dolayısıyla ne diyeceğiz o zaman? Taban 60 times height 6 over 2, which is 180. So the change in the change in producer surplus in that case, it was 125, it is now 180, so 55 units increase. There are 55 units increase in the producer surplus, and the deficiency payment, which we found before as 120, so it is kind of negative value because that's the payment. So not decrease, the efficiency payment has increased, but it's a kind of payment, so we will think it's a negative value in the welfare. So the change in the welfare. The consumers has lost 45 units. The producers has gained 55 units. And the government paid 120 units to the producers. So the welfare has changed 110 units in that case. Doğru mu? Buradan bir artı 10'umuz olacak. Evet, 120 10 gider. Eksi 110 olacak tabii ki. So the welfare of the society will decrease 110 units and this is the deadweight loss of the policy. Hangi alana denk geliyor diyecek olursanız bu. Şimdi tüketici rantı önceden şurasıydı. Doğru mu? Şimdi burası oldu. Dolayısıyla tüketiciler bu alanı kaybetti. Harf koyalım, olur mu? Tüketiciler A ve B alanını kaybetti. Şurası. A ve B alanını kaybetti. Üreticiler, buraya da C diyelim ki, üreticiler için rant alanı burasıydı. Şimdi şurası oldu. Doğru mu? A, B ve C alanını kazandılar. Ve diyelim ki şu altta kalan şu alanı da D ve buraya da E diyelim. Doğru mu? Hükümet de ne kadarlık bir deficiency payment yaptı? B, C, D ve E alanları kadar bir deficiency payment yaptı. Bu durumda deadweight loss'u netleştirdiğimiz zaman ne olacak? Tüketiciler, şöyle diyelim, change in welfare, A'yı ve B'yi kazandı. Pardon, A'yı ve B'yi kaybetti. Şöyle pardon. Eksi A, eksi B. Tüketiciler A'yı ve B'yi kaybetti. Üreticiler A'yı, B'yi ve C'yi kazandı. Hükümet de, bunu da eksi olarak yazacağız. Hükümet de B, C, D ve E alanları kadar bir deficiency payment ödemesi yaptı. Destekleme alımı yaptı. Şimdi A'lar, B'ler şurada birbirini götürdü. Burada bir artı C var. Burada da C var. Bu da gitti. Dolayısıyla B, D ve E alanları bu işin, yani neresi? B, D ve E alanları, şöyle şurayı da içine almak kaydıyla, yani C hariç bu dikdörtgenin alanı B, D ve E alanları deadweight loss'u gösteriyor. Yani nasıl bulursunuz bu 110'u? Geometrik olarak bu dikdörtgenin, yani deficiency payment'ın içinden şu C'yi düşerseniz bulursunuz. Çok da önemli değil bu bağlamda ama geometrik olarak da bu şekilde gösterebiliriz. Kitabınızda da aynı şekilde göstermiş. Okay, this was the first question. End of the first question.